Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series. We're here at Nashville Fairgrounds, here with the Gen 6 trucks. Sorry, Gen 6 cars. Wow. Already so used to Sunday nights. Here with the Gen 6 cars. And we're getting ready for 150 laps around this historic little speedway. See at the top of the board, Mike Kosick currently up there. Eddie Smith sits back in second. Jonah Colbert, Jonathan Cofield, and Tyler Rice, your top five. This is the Music City Madness 150, which means that we are going to be giving $10 away to the best looking music paint here tonight. Also, we have some stages here tonight. First stage is going to be 40 laps long. Second stage is going to be 40 laps long. And the last stage is going to be 70 laps long. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. Oh, excuse me. I apologize for that. I was trying to hit my mute button, but didn't have enough time to. Eddie Smith up at the top of the points. Mike Kosick, Jonah Colbert. I've been doing that, and these guys have been giving me a hard time for that all season long. That's Jonah Colbert sitting back in third. Charles Stevens and Daniel Cunningham, your top five. Then Jonathan Cofield back in sixth. Jason Lottridge, Steve McDonald, Brandon Wallace, and Matt Kleeman. Then you can see the rest of your top 16 up on the screen. Before we get ready to finish up practice here, just about 2 minutes left here in this practice. Again, we want to thank you, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you coming out here tonight and joining us. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch. It really does mean a lot to us. Really helps us out as well. See who's on track right now. We see Jonah Colbert running the inside oval here, trying to get some lap times in. Coming down pit road and taking the left-hand turn onto the infield. So Nashville Fairgrounds does have that little quarter-mile track on the infield and then the half-mile in the regular track there. So Jonah just having a little bit of time, having a little bit of fun while we're winding down here in practice. See Steve McDonald up on the big track, and you'll notice as they come down the backstretch too that the backstretch is not really straight. There's a lot of bumps. There's a little curvature to the wall, so you see down the front stretch it's nice and straight as they come right up against the wall there. But as they come off of turns 3 and 4, off of turns 1 and 2, you'll notice that guardrail is not very straight, and that can really play some havoc for drivers running side by side. Track is just a little bit over a half mile at 0.596 miles. Turns are banked at 18 degrees. Straightaways are banked at 3 degrees. So a little bit of banking here, almost a high bank for a short track if you really think about it. So we'll be watching these drivers all night tonight, having a blast at this track as we see Andy Kurtz losing it coming off of pit road. I don't see any. Trying to see if I see any of the music paint jobs out there, but so far haven't seen any. But we're going to get ready for qualifying. There will be qualifying before the heat races, before the first heat race here tonight. So watch for that as we get ready for these drivers to make 2 laps around the track. It looks like might have a music paint job here on the 01 of Mickey Isaac. I'm trying to take a look here as it comes down the back straightaway. And you notice the bumps as they go around the track as well. Very bumpy track. As Isaac makes his way through turns 3 and 4, off the back, down the front stretch, excuse me. The track I haven't really called too many races at, so I'm a little lost here, so don't mind me. Isaac comes down to take the checkered flag. He's going to currently be in the 7th position. We see Eddie Smith just finish his qualifying attempt. We see Jonah Colbert out on track. Has made his 2 laps as well. Tyler Rice just finished up his qualifying attempt. Sam Wetstein coming down the backstretch now towards turns 3 and 4. Sam's going to come across the stripe. Sam's going to be up in the 8th position. Matt Kleeman out on track right now. Oh, he loses it coming across the stripe. It's going to disallow that time as the last driver out on track right now is the 12 of William Griffith. One driver left to qualify. That is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Has not taken a lap yet. So we're getting ready with just about 2 minutes left here in qualifying before we go get ready for our 3 stages here at Nashville Fairgrounds. While we have a moment, I want to thank some of the great partners here that make this possible. Of course, Kinder Farm and Ranch for the Wreckage Rewind, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Dark Horse Motorsports, Chuck Peg Leg Felts, RC Race Graphics, Tennessee Broadcasting, and Rebels Racing Network, all helping out here and makes this league what it is. Of course, we want to thank our personal partners as well, starting with the Butt Kicker. The Butt Kicker is an established and well-trusted leader in haptics. The brand products are used and endorsed all around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and improved upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic that it produces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and other gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. And as I've mentioned before, I love my Gamer Plus. Used it intensely at North Wilkesboro this past week, and definitely gives you that sensation of when the tires are breaking loose. Definitely helps and improves your driving. So you can check that out at thebuttkicker.com. As we are getting ready to wrap up qualifying here. Of course, this is the original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series here on iRacing from the virtual Nashville Fairgrounds Raceway. Of course, this is the last race before the, well, this is the last race of the regular season. I was going to say before the playoffs start, but there is one more race next week before the playoffs start, and that is the wild card race that's going to be taking place overseas when we pack this up and head on over to the Motegi Oval. If you remember back in, I think it was 97 or 98, the NASCAR series, Cup Series, ran that track. So, gonna bring a lot of memories back here. So we take a look here at the starting grid. Don't know why I did that. So you're, let me get the, I love when you try to push buttons and they don't want to work for you. Starting with your Peg Leg Pole Award winner tonight here is the 87 of Eddie Smith. Jonah Colbert going to roll off from position number 2. Tyler Rice in 3rd with Mike Kosick to his outside in 4th. And Chris Reese and Daniel Cunningham make up row number 3. Last week's winner, Andy Kurtz, he's going to line up 7th with Matt Kleeman in the 8th position. 9th will be Sam Wetstein, and Brandon Wallace rounds out your top 10. And I apologize for going really hard on Brandon Wallace at Talladega on Sunday night. I was being egged on in the chat. They know who they are. I owe Brandon an apology, and I'll make sure to rag on him less. 11th will be William Griffith and Steve McDonald in the 12th position. 13th will be Jason Lottridge. Mickey Isaac rounds out 14th, and Jonathan Cofield will round out the field here tonight at Nashville Fairground Raceway. Field is getting ready to roll off onto the raceway. 15 cars getting ready to do battle at this little short track here in Nashville. See if we can take a look at some of these paint jobs here tonight. Swing the camera around like so. We'll be able to see say like so, and the camera just does. Oh, there it goes. Camera did not want to spin around. Let's take a look who we got here. We got Hooten Hollers on the 31 machine. Kyle Nix in the 6. That's the a couple of these music tributes here. We see Hollywood Undead. Nice looking car right there. Matt Kleeman with the 5-finger death punch. Brandon Wallace running the Hooters car. And I think that's going to do it as far as the... Oh, and Evanescence on the 58. So that's going to do it for the music cars now. But we're getting ready to go back or start green flag racing. As the field makes their way down into turn number 1 for the first time. And Eddie Smith hits the bumps, pushes up the track, but able to hold on to it as he slid up in front of the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Right behind Mike Kosick to the outside of Tyler Rice, trying to take that 3rd position away as they come down the front stretch for the first time. Eddie Smith's going to lead the first lap. Brandon Wallace on the high side. He's trying to get around the 5 of Andy Kurtz. We see William Griffith had some issues in the back of the field. He's fallen to the tail end of the field. As, oh, we got the 12 actually parked on the front stretch, and that's going to bring out our first caution of the night. That's going to be our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind here tonight. As we take a look to see what happened to Griff here to bring out this caution. Running down on the low side underneath Steve McDonald. And O just loses it by himself. Spins up across the track. That did not bring out the yellow. And then it looks like he might have stalled it trying to get it refired. And the field just making their way off of turn number 4 as he's trying to get that car fired back up. So Eddie Smith is going to lead over Jonah Colbert, Mike Kosick, Daniel Cunningham, and Tyler Rice. Some really nice paint jobs out there tonight. I'm going to be studying these closely. I've got 3 that really have caught my eye so far, but we'll see how they fare out as the race continues. There we go. Field's getting ready to re-rack, restack, and refire when they come off of turn number 4 this time. The lights on the pace car will shut off. Eddie Smith looks like he's going to choose the outside lane here. No, lights on the pace car are still on. So this time it looks like Eddie Smith is going to take the high side here, as the lights are now off on the pace car. Jonah Colbert's going to tuck in down low in the first row. Tyler Rice down on the inside. Mike Kosick up on the high side. As the field is making their way down into turns 3 and 4. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Eddie Smith hits that loud pedal. We are back green flag. Oh, we got one around in the back. Sam Webstein around. William Griffith involved as well. Caution is back out. And immediately we get to see another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind. It looks like Sam in that 98 machine might have spun his tires here on the start. See if we can see exactly what happened here to Sam as they're coming off of turn number 4. And see Sam get out of line. You can see the back of that car break loose. He comes up across the track into the side. I believe that's Matt Kleeman in the 19, and then William Griffith with nowhere to go. He pounds the inside wall. Hard contact for the 12. Jonathan Cofield kind of just hanging out there. He's able to get through, and I believe that was Kleeman was Kleeman that made some contact there as well. Let's ride along here with Kleeman. Yeah, just nothing he could do. Just didn't have time to react as Sam lost the traction on the back of that car and sent him around. So Kleeman down on pit road trying to get some of his damage repaired. Of course, this series does not run resets, but since we are doing the heat races for the stages, if something was to happen and your car was to get too damaged, you'd be able to come back for the second and third stage. Lights are already off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing at the end of this lap. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Eddie Smith leads them back down to the green flag. And we are back racing here. A much better start this time. Kosick and Jonah Colbert side by side for that second position. But Jonah able to slide up in front of Mike. But now Mike has the advantage on the high side. And he's going to take that second position away just behind. See Daniel Cunningham stuck up on the high side. Oh, one around down on the bottom. That looked like it was Jason Lottridge as Tyler Rice and Daniel Cunningham battle side by side as they make their way down. And now it's Tyler Rice and Brandon Wallace now making their way side by side as they tuck back in line and get single file. That's going to move Daniel Cunningham up into the 4th position. Someone just made really... Oh, we got more around on the back stretch. Hard contact for the 99 of Brandon Wallace. We see the damage to his machine. Mickey Isaac is involved in this as well. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we try to see exactly what happened to bring this one out. Nope, that's my computer just decided that it wanted to be a little funny here. See the field. Brandon Wallace. Oh, Brandon Wallace loses it by himself. Comes down into Steve McDonald. Donald touches the outside wall hard. Andy Kurtz was involved as well, as the camera almost got taken out. Sam Wetstein sneaks through there. Mickey Isaac got a little piece of it. See Brandon Wallace getting that damage fixed up and making his way back on off of pit road, and beats the pace car out. So the important thing for Brandon Wallace was he was able to beat the pace car out as we are approaching the halfway point of our first stage. Don't forget to join us on Sunday night for our truck doubleheader, as the Charlotte Roval welcomes both truck series. So we'll watch the Outlaw trucks and the Rebels trucks turn left and right on the Roval. First race will go off at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to put the Rebels screen up on the... For a second, I do have to take care of something on my screen here. For those of you who follow Twitter know you should always put up your safety screen anytime you're doing anything on your computer. You never want to have anything that you'd regret pop up on your screen. As the pace car is making its way down on the pit road, Eddie Smith up on that high side yet again. Green flags back in the air, and Eddie Smith with a good jump off the 31 of Jonah Cobert, who has Mike Kosick looking up to the high side. Side by side, the battle for second position. Jonah down on the bottom, taking the short way around, but Kosick trying to get the power up on the high side. As Tyler Rice now loses it down on the inside here. Caution is out. We got more spinning around in the back. Mickey Isaac is around, as well as Steve McDonald, and I believe that's Jonathan Cofield involved in this one as well. So another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look at this one. And it started back with Tyler Rice, but then we saw more happening after that as well. See if we can pull that up here and try to find it on my end. Oh, there it is. It looks like so it had nothing to do with the Tyler Rice incident. We just see Matt Kleeman pushing up off the inside. Looks like he might have caught the apron a little bit. That sends that car right up the track and into the side of the 68 of McDonald. Him, Wetstein, right there as well. He's got nowhere to go, and Mickey Isaac locking it down and trying to slow down to avoid it, and Jonathan Cofield comes piling in as well. So we are just past halfway. My hardware monitor decided that it wanted to pop up onto the main screen. Green flag is back in the air. Eddie Smith, we went single file for this restart. Eddie Smith's going to take that lead and also sped up the restart time as we see William Griffith trying to take a look down to the inside of Brandon Wallace. Griff not able to mount the charge just yet. He's going to fall back in line. And Eddie Smith has Jonah Colbert making his way up, and we heard some contact in the back here. Looks like somebody might have ran in the back of somebody else. No caution. And Mickey Isaac way off the pace here. See a lot of damage to his car. Right behind Jonathan Cofield is trying to make it around. Jason Lottridge has some issues. He's down, spun on the bottom, but gets it rerighted. No caution. And we're going to stay green flag here. Chris Reese down on the low side of Andy Kurtz, up on the high side. Oh, another one getting a little loose in the back. That looked like it was Matt Kleeman getting loose there. He's able to hold on. Now Chris Reese getting a little loose there, trying to get around the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Now Kurtz is going to tuck up behind us up front. Jonah Colbert has caught Eddie Smith, and he's taking a look down to the inside. Smith able to hold off on the high side, though. As we have just 8 laps left to go in this stage. Can Colbert get around Eddie here to take the win of the stage? And Mike Kosick hanging back there right now as well. Six laps to go as they make their way around the lap car of Jason Lottridge. Again, once the stage resets everything here, resets lap count, resets the cars, and just 5 laps to go as Mike Kosick has now gotten around Jonah Colbert. Let's take a look at that replay of the pass. It looks like Jonah just got loose off of turn number 4. That allows Kosick to get right around. And now he's got 3/4 of a second to catch up to the 87 of Eddie Smith, and he's catching Eddie pretty quickly. He's already cut 2/10 down into that lead with just 4 laps to go. Can he make it as the yellow comes out? And it looks like it's for the 12 of William Griffith, and that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See Griff. It's down into the corner. He's got Sam Wetstein right behind him. He just loses it. Just got to the gas just a little too hard. Sends that car right around. And that's going to set ourselves up I believe this is going to be a green-white checker for the stage win. This will be a single file restart. Lights on the pace car already off. We're going to go 3 laps here to settle it. Or 2 laps, excuse me. We'll take the green flag with 2 laps to go. Eddie hits that loud pedal. We're back green flag racing. Just 2 laps to go. Ken Kosick run down Eddie Smith. That caution actually helped Kosick quite a bit. It cut about half the gap that he had on Eddie Smith as they come off of turn number 4. White flag will be in the air. Just 1 more lap to go. Eddie Smith holding on to that top spot right now as Mike Kosick makes his way off of turn number 2 for the final lap into turns 3 and 4. And Eddie Smith is going to hold off to win the first stage here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Mike Kosick comes home P2. Jonah Colbert back in P3. And Daniel Cunningham P4. And see if we can take a look at the full results of the first stage. Eddie Smith with the win. Mike Kosick, Jonah Colbert, Daniel Cunningham, Andy Kurtz, your 5th place in the stage. 6th will be Chris Reese, Brandon Wallace, Tyler Rice, Sam Wetstein, and Matt Kleeman round out your top 10. That's the rest of the results of the stage as we get ready to regrid them and do it all again for another 40 laps. Now, these drivers have 40 laps under their belt. They know what this car is going to feel like on those older tires. We'll see if anybody's going to be able to maybe save their tires a little bit better, save their cars. There technically isn't any resets, but they do get a free reset in the middle of each stage. So here we go. Green flag is back in the air. Eddie Smith on the low side. Mike Kosick up on the high side. They make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Eddie getting a little loose there on the bottom as Kosick had the advantage up on the high side as they come through turns 3 and 4. Eddie Smith, Kosick gets really loose off the corner, and Kosick is going to give that position up to Jonah Colbert as Colbert now on the inside lane trying to take 2nd place away as they rocket down into turns 3 and 4. Jonah with the shorter way around the track, and we've seen this track incredibly slick here early. As the race continues, the sun's going to go down and the track's going to cool off, and we're going to see a little bit more grip out of these cars. Well, battle heating up here between Andy Kurtz. Caution on the field, or on the track, and it's for the 12 of William Griffith. That's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind of the stage. We take a look to see what happened to the 12 of Griff. Down into turns 1 and 2. Got a little out of shape getting into the corner. Hits the he hit the bumps just right. Sends that car around into the inside wall. Doesn't look like too much damage to that 12th machine. He should be able to carry on with no real issues. Well, we've been seeing it kind of all night tonight. It's been a battle of attrition. And of course, you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. And hey, over at IntensityBroadcasting.com, we've got just the t-shirt for that. It's our Cautions Breed Cautions tee. It is our #1 selling t-shirt on the web store right now, so you can check that out. Pick yours up at IntensityBroadcasting.com, as well as you can pick up all sorts of swag for Intensity Broadcasting, some of your favorite leagues, and of course, Atlee Atman-Weiss's Bandolero merchandise as well. So you can check that out, link down below at IntensityBroadcasting.com. Of course, you can check out all of our great partners down below as well, including thebuttkicker.com for your haptic feedback devices to help you get better at sim racing. But here we go. Pace car makes his way down onto pit road. Eddie Smith up on that high side takes the green flag. We are back racing in stage #2, and this battle we've seen all night between Jonah Colbert and Mike Kosick, as Jonah now gets the advantage, and he's going to come right after Eddie Smith. Further back, Sam Wetstein, Tyler Rice, they're side by side. Tyler down on the bottom. Wetstein pushes way up the track, but he's going to use that momentum to get off the corner and pass that 6 machine. Just behind, we see Matt Kleeman side by side with Jonathan Cofield. Jason Lottridge back here in this mix as well. See Lottridge in that white machine down on the low side trying to get around the 12 of William Griffith. Just in front of that, we see Sam Wetstein making his way around the 62. Oh, Chris! Oh, we got an incident on the track. Mickey Isaac, Tyler Rice involved. Steve McDonald, I believe. Jonathan Cofield was caught up in this one as well. And that will bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we're going to see Tyler Rice down on the low side underneath Cofield. As they come off the corner, Tyler Rice gets a little out of shape, pushes up the track right into the 58. That sends those two up into the wall. Here comes Matt Kleeman with nowheres to go, runs into the back of both of them. See Jason Lottridge getting a little piece of it right there as well. That makes some room for William Griffith to get through there, but not so lucky for Steve McDonald and Mickey Isaac. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to do it all over again as we're just working lap 12 of 40 in the second stage. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime Intensity Broadcasting goes live. Also, we've got the chat open. If you are watching at home, you want to cheer on anybody or shout out anybody here, feel free. We'd love to hear from you. So here we go. Eddie Smith going to lead him down to the starting zone yet again. Jonah Covert down on the low side. Mike Kosick, Andy Kurtz back in row number 2. Green flag is in the air. A big jump for Eddie Smith as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Side by side, the 31 and the 8. Andy Kurtz right there as well, seeing who's going to make it through. Kosick's going to make his way up into the second position as they come down to the front stretch. Andy Kurtz right behind Colbert trying to take a peek, but not quite close enough to try to make anything happen, is right behind Daniel Cunningham. Also trying to make a move on the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Jason Lottridge down underneath Sam Wetstein. This is a battle for the 8th position. Sam's seen himself in quite a few battles here tonight. He's also seen himself on the other end of a couple of other people's mistakes as he's able to clear Lottridge, and now Lottridge has to compete with Jonathan Cofield. And the 0-1 of Mickey Isaac has gone around. Caution does not come out, but Isaac makes his way back down onto pit road. Up front, Mike Kosick trying to run down the 87 of Eddie Smith. And Eddie showing a lot of speed here tonight, running that middle lane, if you will. Running just up above the bumps, but not quite low or high enough to get up into the dirty, into the gray of the track, if you will. We see now Mike Kosick not really hooking the bottom, trying to run that one lane up, trying to see if he can run down the 87 of Smith. He was a little bit quicker than Smith was at the end of the first run. We'll see if Eddie's able to hold off that hard-charging 8 machine as we have just 20 laps to go in the second stage. Kosick has gotten to the back bumper, but it's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to try to pass him. So we look off the back bumper of Eddie Smith. This gives you a really good view of just how bumpy this track really is. You can hear the wheels spinning up a little bit as Eddie hits those bumps, trying to get back on the throttle. This is the view from the nose of the 8 machine of Kosick. We got a little battle shaking up back here. Brandon Wallace and Jonathan Cofield. Cofield now looking down to the inside of the 99 machine. And they are side by side. This is a battle for the 7th position. Ooh, some contact. Cofield now down into the inside wall. He's going to continue on. As Tyler Rice now works around the outside of the 87. Up front, it's all Eddie Smith. Kosick was able to get to the back bumper, tried to make a move down underneath, and he was not able to even get alongside the 87. It looks like he's trying to cool those tires, though, to make another run at it. With just 13 laps to go, Eddie Smith continues to lead. Andy Kurtz, who was just up in the mix a little bit ago, he's fallen back about a half a second off the 31 of Cobert. He's got a half-second lead back to 5th place, Daniel Cunningham. But Cunningham starting to make some moves and move himself up towards the front. Kosick looked down to the inside, thought about trying to make a move there, but just was not able to get down and hook down that underneath that 87 machine. Coming up on some lap traffic, though, we see, I believe that's the 48 of Jason Lottridge in front of our leaders, as Kosick now down to the inside. Eddie Smith, though, able to keep the power down, to keep himself up in front. Just 10 laps to go in our second stage. Again, that is actually the 12 of William Griffith right in front of our leaders. Can the lap traffic have anything to say about the finish of this race? The field makes their way through turns 3 and 4, and it's actually Jonah Cobert's caught right back up to these three. So put our three leaders under a blanket as they catch the lap car of William Griffith. And Griff's pushing hard, trying to stay out in front of the leaders, but he's going to surrender up to the high side here. Allow our leaders to come by as Kosick tries to make it 3 wide for a second. And with 7 laps to go, can Kosick get around the 87? Oh, as Eddie Smith catches the wall just a little bit, that's going to allow Kosick to make a move up to the high side. And we have a battle for the lead as Kosick going to take over that top spot. How much damage does that 87 have? Eddie just pushed up the wall just a little bit too much, pushed up the track just a little bit too much, caught the outside wall. Doesn't look like there's enough damage to really slow him down too much, but as the caution comes out, and it looks like it's for Tyler Rice and Sam Wetstein. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what transpired between these two drivers. See Wetstein, Brandon Wallace gets a little loose in front of Wetstein, comes up the track, makes contact with the 98. Those two go up into the outside wall. See Sam gets turned, comes right down into the 58 of Cofield. And then Tyler Rice just nowheres to go. Innocent victim of that one. So that's going to set up another green-white checker to end this stage. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you know anytime we go live, like Sunday night when we have our truck doubleheader with both the Original Rebels Racing League, the Outlaw Truck Series and the Rebels Truck Series, both taking on the Roval. So if you like watching cars and trucks turn left and right, you're not going to want to miss that one for sure. Tuesday night, we've got another truck doubleheader with the Doghouse Racing League and the SCSRA. This Tuesday night, the Doghouse Racing League will be taking on Kentucky Speedway, followed by the SCSRA Truck Series, as they will be heading to Charlotte. Nope. Yep, I'm right. It is Charlotte. If not for some reason it was Watkins. Nope, it is Charlotte. next Tuesday night. So don't want to miss that. Truck doubleheaders are always exciting here on Intensity Broadcasting. But here we go. We're getting ready to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them here for a green-white checker. And with the choose cone in effect, Eddie Smith is going to choose this restart on the high side, putting Jonah Colbert down on the low side. Pace car making their way down on the pit road. See, the flagman has the green flag in the air. And we are back racing here at Nashville. A great start for the leader, Kosick, as Jonah Colbert fighting down underneath the inside of Eddie Smith as they make their way off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, side by side, Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith. Smith is going to give up that position. Almost gets up into the wall again. White flag is in the air. Does Mike Kosick have anything? I'm sorry, does Jonah Colbert have anything for Mike Kosick? As they make their way down the backstretch for the final time in this stage. Off of turn number 4. And Mike Kosick is going to win stage number 2. Looks like William Griffith stuffed it in the wall on the backstretch. Excuse me. As he's going to make his way across the line here. And that is going to do it for stage number 2. Let's take a look at the results. Mike Kosick gets the win. Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith, Andy Kurtz, and Daniel Cunningham round out your top 5. Chris Reese in 6th. Tyler Rice in 7th. Sam Wetstein, Matt Kleeman, and Jason Lottridge your top 10. And Brandon Wallace, William Griffith, Jonathan Cofield, Steve McDonald, and Mickey Isaac round out the rest of heat number 2. Charles Stevens, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm doing well. Got this little bit of a tickle in my throat, a little cough here. Change of seasons, gotta love it. Up here in the Northeast, it's been like 80 degrees during the day and 40 degrees at night. Excuse me. So it always messes with my sinuses, and you get that little tickle down in the back of the throat, and it's never any fun. So we're going to line up the same way we finished that one. Let's go put Mike Kosick down on the bottom and Jonah Colbert up on the high side. Charles Stevens missed the races. He didn't get the update done in time. Yeah, I forgot there was an update myself, and I was scrambling to get in here. But here we go. Pace car is on pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. John Colbert. Oh, Colbert catches the outside wall on the start. That stacks everybody up, and already no caution. No caution, but a lot of cars involved right there. Right on the green flag. Let's take a look at this restart. .31 spins the tires, climbs the wall right here on the restart. Comes down into Eddie Smith. And then you just see everybody else trying to pile in through, but surprisingly, no caution comes out. So that's going to put, do we see caution now out on the field, on the track? I believe that was for the 87 of Eddie Smith here. Let's see if we can see what happened to bring out this caution. Nope, it happened actually out in front of this. So let's find. See, Chris Reese coming off of turn number 4. Oh, Matt Kleeman loses it. Reese gets tagged in the right rear. Getting tagged in the right rear is never going to end well as he comes up the track. Just barely misses Brandon Wallace. We see Jason Lotridge sneaking through as well. And here comes, I think that's Jonathan Cofield. Yep, that's exactly who it is. Comes plowing in here. It's nowhere to go. Eddie Smith. Ooh, gets the net code. Up into the outside wall hard. I don't know how much damage that did to that machine. Trying to see if the engine is smoking on that 87 or not. So he gets it turned around. But it doesn't look like his day is done. Looks like he'll be able to continue on. Eddie Smith on pit road getting damage fixed. Jonathan Cofield on pit road as well. He's leaving pit road. Jonah Cobert on pit road. Chris Reese as well. As the field is just making their way by to put all of those drivers one lap down. So a tough break. Very tough break for the JC Motorsports boys. Both of them are caught up in the lap, basically at the green, or the wreck, basically at the green flag. So here we go. Mike Kosick's going to lead them back down to the green flag. We're going to do a single file restart yet again. Pace car makes its way down on the pit road. Kosick's going to lead them down to the restart zone. The green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. Another big jump for our leader. We see Tyler Rice all over the back bumper of second place, Daniel Cunningham. Hey, while we've got the field all bunched up together in single file, let's do a little pump up the intensity. Caution. No caution. There's the caution. Knew the caution was about to come out. We saw the cars spinning on the backstretch. That looked like it might have been the 87 of Eddie Smith was involved in that. as we bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind, although the graphic didn't pop up there. Let's see if we can see what happened to Eddie here. Oh, Brandon Wallace got tagged from behind. Which then caused Griff to get turned as well. Then Griff comes down across the track and into the side of the 87, who makes hard contact with the backside of his car against the wall. Fortunately, it was the backside and not the engine. Brandon Wallace down on pit road along with the 62 of Chris Reese. And then a bunch of other drivers coming down pit road. Jonathan Cofield, Eddie Smith, Matt Kleeman, all down pit road as well. As Mike Kosick continues to lead here. Well, lights are going to stay on the pace car one more time. Let's thank our great partner here with us here, Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is an established, trusted leader in haptics. Their brand of products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus, which I personally have, is a new and upgraded sim racing gaming haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, as I mentioned, I've got the Gamer Plus hooked up on my little office chair here, and it is incredibly immersive. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, I definitely recommend checking them out. You kind of feel everything that goes on in the car. You can feel the rev of the engine. You can feel the gear shifts. Road courses, you can feel the rumple strips. You can feel when the tires start to break loose. I just have the one unit, but you can mount up to 4 and have them work together to reproduce the slip of individual wheels. So check that out at thebuttkicker.com. But here we go. We're going back. Green flag racing. Green flag is back in the air. A big jump for Mike Kosick as he makes his way down into turns 1 and 2. Tyler Rice trying to run down that 54 of Daniel Cunningham as they make their way off of turn number 2. Sam Wetstein using every inch of the track. Almost got up into the wall. He was able to hold on to it as the sun is starting to set here in Music City. Speeds are starting to pick up. And the intensity is starting to pick up as well. See Eddie Smith back here, who's back on the lead lap. Trying to get around the 12 of William Griffith. This is for position as Eddie Smith moves himself up into the 8th position. Now, how much damage does he have on that 87 machine? Is he going to be able to work his way back up towards the front and be a contender? Tyler Rice has the 5 of Andy Kurtz right there on the back bumper. Rice is starting to slide back just a little bit. Steve McDonald, Jason Lottridge side by side. It's a battle for 6th as McDonald slides up into that 6th position. And now Lottridge has to contend with the 87 of Eddie Smith. So Eddie driving with the red mist right now. Just concentrating on hitting his marks and getting himself back up towards the front with a lot of damage to the front and back of that car. But he is able to continue to move on as Andy Kurtz now has Tyler Rice all over the... I'm sorry. Andy Kurtz has made his way around Tyler Rice. And Jonathan Cofield has made his way down the pit road. Looks like he might have had some issues out on track. Steve McDonald running down the 98 of Sam Wetstein, trying to take over that 5th position. And, oh, something happened to Eddie Smith. Eddie's not on the track anymore. I think Eddie might have had some internet issues. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 58 of Cofield here. Oh, looks like his engine just blew up and he got punted down into the inside wall. So Eddie Smith now, again, not on track. There's Andy Kurtz trying to get around the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. This is a battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Oh, Eddie blew up. Thank you, Shappy. Didn't know exactly what happened to Eddie there. Eddie has one of those Gibbs motors must have blew up on him, although he does drive a Chevy. So maybe it's one of those Hendrick motors that we've seen be unreliable all season long, as Andy Kurtz takes a look down to the inside of Daniel Cunningham. They are side by side for the 2nd position. Tyler Rice right there in the mix as well. In case these two make a mistake, he is able to drive on through. So move Andy Kurtz, last week's winner, up into 2nd. Tyler Rice got a little loose there on the low side, trying to get around Cunningham, so he's going to stick back into that 4th position. A little further back, a battle back here. Brandon Wallace getting around Jason Lottridge. And now Daniel Cunningham has Tyler Rice breathing down his neck. Rice taking a look down to the inside, just not able to peek down underneath just yet. Ooh, Tyler Rice gets really loose up on the low side, trying to get around Cunningham. He's going to slide back in behind and try to do it all over again. A little further back, we see Brandon Wallace and William Griffith side by side. His both cars completely sideways off the corner. But both able to hold on and continue moving forward. So this last stage, full of attrition right off the get-go. When the 31 of Jonah Cobert spun the tires on the start of the race. Oh, William Griffith stuffing it down into the inside wall. No caution. So we continue on, but started with the 31 of Jonah Cobert's losing control on the start, spinning out, taking out Eddie Smith as well as a couple drivers. Now we see Jonah taking a look down to the inside to get around Tyler Rice. So move Jonah up in the 4th. Jonah's got one more position before he makes his way onto the podium. Up front, Mike Kosick with a 4-second lead over 2nd place Andy Kurtz. And we are just past the halfway mark. You can see the lead that this 8 car has as he makes his way off of turn number 4. You can't even see 2nd place Andy Kurtz into the screen now that you see him. And he is at least a full set of turns behind that 8 of Mike Kosick. And Jonah is now past the 54 to move him onto the podium. Of course, we have seen a couple cautions here tonight. A caution could really benefit that 31. As Mike Kosek's lead right now is 4.5 seconds over Andy Kurtz. So Jonah gets around the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Now, does he have enough speed in that 31 to run down Kosek? If we take a look at the lap history, you see that Jonah is running a little bit quicker than that 8 machine. Each lap, he's been about 2 to 3. Last couple laps, he's been, just about a 10th quicker overall. So that time, 0.2 quicker. So he is making his way to try to run down Mike Kosek. But with only 25 laps to go when they cross the line next time by, I don't know if there's going to be enough time for him to make up almost 4.5 seconds. Here's your top 3 as they run. You see the interval. As Gobert's trying to run down that 8 of Mike Kosek. Just behind, we see Tyler Rice still trying to get around the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. They are side by side. And move Tyler Rice up into the 4th position. Matt Kleeman now just makes his way down pit road. Well, I take that back. Kleeman's been on pit road for a little bit now, so William Griffith is the last running car on the racetrack as he runs back into the 10th position. Mike Kosek has just gotten around. Griff's got Jason Lottridge. That is a battle for position that the leader just went by as Griff takes a look down to the low side, trying to get around Lottridge. And he's going to do it. So move Griff up into the 9th position. As we see Tyler Rice in that Kyle Nix machine, as Daniel Cunningham right behind in that Hollywood Undead machine. Meanwhile, up front, Mike Kosek continues to lead. But that lead is 3.5 seconds over second place. Jonah Cobert is just making his way through the lap traffic now as well. He's got William Griffith right there in front of him. Now Tyler Rice starting to gap Cunningham just a little bit. Well, we have 15 laps to go. Do want to take a quick look at some of these paint jobs again. We saw the Hollywood Undead. We saw the Kyle Nix. I know Kleeman had a five-finger death punch machine. Jonathan Cofield with the Evanescence machine. I'm going to have to give the paint here tonight to Tyler Rice. I think that's probably the coolest looking paint job out there tonight with that Kyle Nix machine. So give the $10 to the 6 of Tyler Rice. But 13 laps to go. Mike Kosick, his lead has grown now over Jonah Cobert. It's now 4.16 seconds. So Jonah looks like he's starting to fall off just a little bit. Last time by, he ran almost a tenth slower than the 8 machine. You see Kosick now in the green, pulling away from that 31. Right in front, you see William Griffith and Jason Lottridge continuing to try to battle here. This is a battle for 9th and 10th. As we have just 10 laps to go here at Nashville. Mike Kosick continues to dominate here in the final stage, with a couple of the bigger name drivers having some issues. And earlier today, the joke was that, you wouldn't be able to beat Eddie or Jonah without them getting wrecked. And unfortunately, it looks like Jonah may have caused his own undoing here in this final stage. Tyler Rice has gotten back around Daniel Cunningham. With just 7 laps to go. Field pretty spread out right now. Just a couple of small battles. We saw this one between Tyler Rice and Daniel Cunningham. Brandon Wallace and Sam Wetstein trying to get something going here on this this final stage. Kosick comes across the line. We have just 5 laps to go. And a long green flag run in this run too, with 5 laps to go. Anything could still happen though. A caution could change the whole complexity of this race. But as spread out as the field is right now, I don't see that happening. Closest battle we have right now is between Brandon Wallace and Sam Wetstein. As Wallace is trying to make it to the back bumper of that 98. As Mike Kosick is coming to 3 laps to go. Wallace taking a look down to the inside, but Sam able to get the drive off the corner, and Wallace almost lost it on the backstretch, trying to get the power down to get by that 98 machine. Wallace again just cannot get that power down. That allows Sam to pull right away. As Kosick comes across the line, we have 2 laps to go here at Nashville. Kosick coming up on some lap traffic. That is the 68 of Steve McDonald out in front of him. But as he makes his way off of turn number 4, a white flag will be in the air. Final lap here at Nashville, with a 4.5 second lead over second place Jonah Cobert. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Mike Kosick's going to make his way off of turn number 4. Checker flag is in the air, and Mike Kosick is going to get the win here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Jonah Coburt's going to drive his way back into second. And Andy Kurtz going to come home third as they're already piling up in the corner as Mike Kosick makes his way down onto the front stretch where he's going to celebrate his win right here at the start-finish line. Looks like the entire field piled up in turn number 2, so we're not going to see that wreckage, that Rebels devil. Oh, I take it back. There's Jonah to prove me wrong. As we're going to take a look at our final results. Again, your winner here tonight, Mike Kosick, with Jonah Cobert and Andy Kurtz rounding out the top 3. Tyler Rice comes home 4th. Daniel Cunningham back in 5th. Sam Wetstein, Brandon Wallace, Steve McDonald, William Griffith, and Jason Lotridge round out your top 10. Matt Cleveland comes home in 11th. Eddie Smith back in 12th. Jonathan Cofield in 13th. Chris Reese and Mickey Isaac make up the rest of the field here tonight as we get ready to talk to our top 3 drivers. Just realized that I did not jump into the right room earlier. Let's talk to our 3rd place finisher, Andy Kurtz. Andy, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha, man. How's it going?
Man, what a wild race here tonight. A little bit of everything. A lot of cautions in the first 2 stages. The 3rd stage looked like it was going to be the same. And then we just had that really long green flag run. Were you expecting that long green flag run there at the end? Did that change any way that you ran the track here tonight?
Yeah, I was definitely expecting it. I didn't really know what the car would feel like on a long run, but it was getting looser and looser as the laps went on. It was really easy to burn up the rear tires. So moving around a little bit, you could get away, I think, with finding some speed on the bottom line when the tires were new. Um, but yeah, the groove kind of went up a little bit, but yeah, it was fun. Awesome win by Caustic there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of attrition tonight, and a lot of it seemed to be getting on the throttle or hitting those bumps down in the corner. Can you you said the track was real slick. Was it a combination of the track just having no grip or those bumps or a little bit of everything?
Yeah, the bumps would really upset the car. Turns 1 and 2, on the bottom there. But yeah, car just felt like it had a lot of power. Um, I haven't ran this track too many times, so I'm not really good at short tracks. And this one's always fun. It always feels like you're going a lot faster than you are. Love the banking and the turns, and love that you can kind of run up high, which a lot of short tracks you don't really do that, I guess. But yeah, the setup felt really good. Um, Jordan did a great job coming up with it here. Um, Definitely felt loose, but I like driving a car like that, and I think a lot of the guys we raced with would agree. So yeah, it felt good overall. It was really racy, but then you would see guys fall off as the tires would wear out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun once it went green there.
Well, with a loose race car, it's a good thing Kinder didn't show up for this one here tonight because he would have just ran away with it. But Andy,
Yeah,
before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out? Any thanks you give here tonight?
yeah, man. Just want to thank you. Putting on a good show. It's always great talking to you here after the races. Do a great job on the broadcast, and want to thank all of our admins who work real hard during the week, and I'm sure it's a whole bunch of time to put this on for us, and let guys like me just show up and run a couple laps with them a couple days a week. So I really appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun.
How much are you looking forward to moving on to Japan next week?
Oh, I didn't even know what you were talking about, but now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't even own that track, so I'm gonna have to buy that and figure it out. Yeah, should be good.
That's a
love
really fun track. So I
love
just
a good change.
it's
Yeah,
it's it's definitely an awesome track to run. So we look forward to it. And again, congratulations on the podium, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
cool, man. Thanks. See you.
So that's your second place finisher, Andy Kurtz. Let's bring in your third place finisher, Andy Kurtz. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jonah Cobert. Wow. I'm going to get so much crap for that one. I don't know how many more times I'm going to call him Jonathan, but Jonah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Man, if you keep calling me Jonathan, I'm just going to start calling you Eddie.
You know, in one of the other leagues I announced, I accidentally called someone named Derek David. And I think I did that with like 3 different people. So now everybody just changed their name to David in that league. But
well, we might have to do that over here.
we have to change everybody to Jonathan here. So, but man, Jonah, man, great run for you tonight. You know, doing a good job. I didn't realize my volume wasn't that high. Great job here tonight, doing everything you could to get yourself back to the front after that little mishap on the start of the third stage. What happened there to get your car out of shape and climb the wall like that?
Man, it was spinning the tires all night. Like I restarted on the bottom all night long below Eddie, and I mean restart, just on the bottom. So I got used to the amount of grip and how much throttle I needed. I assumed wrongly that there would be more grip up top. Just I could get on it just a little bit harder. And we were on fresh tires and it went green and it just went straight to the wall and you saw it climb the wall and I bounced off. I had no control over it after that and clipped Eddie, got into a bunch of people, felt stupid, felt embarrassed, man. I had to mute my mic after that because I felt so bad. But yeah, just unfortunate. I didn't, wasn't ready for it. So.
But it didn't look like it hurt the car too much. You're able to drive your way back up through the field. I know a lot of drivers were struggling with a loose race car here tonight. Talk about the track here and how the looseness got worse. A lot of people were saying it was getting worse as the run was going on.
Yeah, it just really depended on how you drove the track and how much you took care of the right rear tire coming off the corner. Because, I mean, even with a tight setup, this track is going to spin the right rear no matter what you do. And it's just any car on this track with any setup is going to spin the right rear. And I had the benefit of coming in and on that caution, and that last caution, I think it was like lap 20 or 15, somewhere around there, when Eddie wrecked on the back stretch. I came in, I got lucky dog and fresh tires, and was able to drive through the field, get all my damage fixed and stuff. And that seemed to make a difference, just having 10, 15 lap pressure tires, and just I wasn't really getting on the throttle in the corners, just waiting and waiting, being real patient with it, and throttling down on the straightaways, and that just saved the right rear bunch. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, a great job here and getting the damage fixed up, getting the opportunity to get yourself back up towards the front. Before I let you go, Jonah, anybody you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
Give a shout out to Daniel Cunningham for he put up the iRacing credits for the best paint tonight. I'm not sure who won that, but whoever it was, congrats to them. Shout out to Tennessee Broadcasting for putting this thing on, and just want to apologize to my teammate Eddie and anybody else that was caught up in that wreck on that restart. It was 100% my fault. Just ran out of talent, so that's it.
Yeah, and last question: how do you like your chances when you pack up and go to Japan next week?
Dude, I don't know how fast I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun because we got a setup that just drives like a dream there, and it's gonna drive off the right rear a little bit, kind of like it did here. Not as bad. It's a lot more stable. It's a high downforce package, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 1.5-mile track, and hopefully people show up for it because that might become a staple on our schedule if it goes well. So
that is an awesome track. I love racing there. I love watching races there, and I'm really looking forward to watching the show next week. So good luck next week. Again, congrats on the podium, even though you had to wipe out half the field to get it. No, I'm kidding. And,
you can't beat them, reckon, right?
That's what they were saying about you and Eddie earlier. But
also, I do want to give a shout out to Michael Kostek for getting his first win in Grand National. He's been fast all season. He just hadn't had the luck, and everything worked out for him tonight, and he had all the speed because even with fresher tires, I couldn't run him down. So he was definitely the fastest tonight. So shout out to him.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks.
So that was your second place finisher, Jonah Cobert. Well, let's bring in your winner here tonight, Mike Kosick. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Oh, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, there you are. Man, great run tonight, getting yourself your first win of the season. I know you've been close and flirting with that win all season long, but able to get out in front and stay out in front there at the end. You were able to navigate the track unlike anybody else there towards the end. Were you able just to save your right rear tire a little bit better, you think, than everybody else, or was there something else going on there?
Yeah, I think once I was able to get out in front, once I got a decent lead, I was able to just kind of conserve it while everyone else was probably having to push it a little bit, so it made it a little easier for me to save on the tires.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of people losing control there, having a lot of caution, especially in the first two stages. But you looked like you were stable pretty much all night long. Was that a concern at any point that the caution might come back out there, especially in that long green flag run we had there at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to my teammates, and I was hoping it didn't come back out because then you're in a weird spot that you pit and take the chance of losing track position or stay out and take the chance of everybody else pitting. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping it just stayed green to the end and lucked out there.
I know you were hoping for it, but were you kind of surprised it stayed green there to the end?
Um, not really. I think once everybody got the hang of it, it was definitely a difficult track to drive. Bumps off of 2 and 4 made it real loose, even when you were easy on the throttle. So it wasn't easy.
No, we saw those bumps playing giving a lot of people trouble here tonight. But again, congrats on your first win of the season here in the Grand National Series. I know it feels good, locks you into the playoffs. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go watch it back. Jonah and Daniel for what they're doing for the series, and then my teammates over at Bandits Motorsports.
Awesome, man. And how do you like your chances next week over at in Japan at Motegi?
Um, I'm not sure. I haven't driven these cars there yet, but it's a lot of fun in the ARCA cars, so it should be a fun race.
Yeah, the car's fun, and that track's fun in any car, I feel. But man, again, congrats on the win, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Good luck next week.
All right, man. Thanks.
So there you have it. Your winner here tonight, Mike Kosick, dominating the final stage after a little bit of heartbreak there at the beginning of the race, and I think that's going to bring up our Cofield Tough Luck Award here tonight, and that's going to go to Jonah Colbert, even though he came back into second place right there at the green flag. Could give that one to Eddie Smith as well, because a couple drivers you could really give this one to, because right on the initial or the start of the final stage, Jonah just getting a little loose and then catching Eddie. Actually, I would say that's more on Eddie than anyone, because that pretty much wrecked his race right there and sent him to the garage. So here's your Cofield Asphalt Refinishing Tough Luck Award going to Eddie Smith here tonight. Yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Check out our affiliates below with thebuttkicker.com. We also have if you're looking for setup shops or some coaching, you can check out raceepi.com. And check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com. Again, my name's Josh Hall. This has been the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series Music City Madness 150 here on iRacing. We do appreciate you all joining out. Again, congratulations to Mike Kosick. We move on to Twin Wind Montegi next week for what will be the playoff wild card race. So you're not going to want to miss that. So check that out here on Intensity Broadcasting, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say. Over and out.